This is the brains behind this whole clinic. They're one of my close friends in the coaching business and mentors. I mean, when I was a manager at Quinnipiac, he took me under his wing and allowed me to be a part of the program, which is what really got me my start in coaching. So Coach Doherty is the head coach at Hamden Hall, where he's in the last few years has an overall record of 57-18, including the 2018-19 Fairchester League playoff regular season championship and the NEPSAC Class B championship. In 2018-19, they went 25-2. Prior to being at Hamden Hall, he spent 9 years at Quinnipiac, 4 years as the head coach at Salem State, where he reached the NCAA tournament 3 times, and also some time at Holy Cross and Assumption. So it's my pleasure to introduce our last speaker from Hamden Hall, Sean Doherty.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. This is such a great cause that you've been doing. And for people who are still on and still, after our technical difficulties there, I just want you to know that Coach Papali is one of the special ones out there. I mean, he's doing something that is just saving lives, and it's amazing. He was our manager when I was the assistant coach under Coach Moore at Quinnipiac for those 4 years, and to see him grow over the years, not only as a person and from a college student to a young adult to a professional, it's just been amazing. And what he's doing, this is something that is something special. When I'm thinking about doing a clinic again, I said we got to connect Mike into this because his foundation is such a great thing. And I hopefully you guys will look into his story. It's amazing that he's actually even doing this. So it's something special, and I really appreciate you having me, Mike. Well, guys, I'm gonna get right into this. Like when we start talking, basketball X's and O's. I watched a lot of the other speakers today, and they had tons of videos and tons of X's and O's that they brought up there, and I thought it was amazing. Each one of them did a great job. And if you're a basketball junkie, this is what it's all about. How to get better. And I'm gonna go. I think whenever we do these clinics, I always, when I've done these in the past, everybody who emails me say, Coach, can you do more quick hitters? Can you give me some more plays? Because everybody's on here. It's probably, college, high school, coach that's just looking to get some X's and O's for their teams. So I thought about, doing some quick hitters. And then if there's any coaches who are on here still that I wanted to kind of like give them something that I thought you could bring to your team, and which is called the effort stats. And that's something that, I've taken throughout my career. And I got it from Ralph Willard when I was the assistant at Holy Cross. And it's something, that really has brought to me understanding of playing hard. And when we got to Holy Cross, I was the like a third assistant there. The program was kind of like in shambles a little bit and really, beat down, losing season after losing season. And Coach Will took over, and he started this program. He said, listen, we're going to start doing effort stats. And I was like, okay, it was my first time I've kind of ever heard of something like that. And I'm like, okay, well, what are we going to be doing? He goes, well, Sean, you're going to be charting what we do in games off the video. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, we're going to be specific things that we're going to chart. And these guys, I think, don't understand what's important in winning. And I was like, okay, Coach. So, there was certain categories, and I'm going to share my screen here. Let me get to my desktop here. And Coach Papali, hopefully can, if I need you to talk me through this. Here we go. All right, I'm going to go to hopefully I can bring over to the effort stats. Here we go. And Coach Papali, can you see that? Can everybody?
Not yet. So Coach Doherty, hit on share screen, the green. Yep. Now I see it. You're good.
All right, great.
Perfect.
So this is something that, I took from Holy Cross, and I did it when I was at Salem State and as the head coach, and when we went down to Western Kentucky with Darren Horn, and then we tried to implement it with, Coach Moore. He had his own system, but I tried to bring that in a little bit with him at Quinnipiac. But when we were like I said, at Holy Cross, this was something that we kind of lived and died by right here. And so, like I said, Coach charted certain things in practice, which we can all do. If you're a coach and you're looking to say, okay, how do I get my kids to play harder? Like, how can I get to, hold them accountable and to play hard? Here's something that a little, 5-minute tidbit that you can really simple understanding that you can put in and it really can make you change how your kids look at things. So what we do is we put together this chart, and you see at the top, it has the player's name and then a bunch of categories. And then below the player's names, all the kids in your team. So right now I only got like 7 or 8 guys on there. And the first category was defensive blockouts. So what would happen is after your first game or your first scrimmage, you take the film. You all hopefully everyone is filming their games, and you have the ability to watch your film back. So now you get your film and you watch the film, and you're watching the first play of the game, and shot goes up, and then what you're going to do is pause the film right there when the opposing team takes a shot. All right. And you're going to look and see how many guys try and block out on your team. You're starting 5. How many guys block out? And if they do a block out, they get a 1. If they don't do a block out, they get a 0. So that means on a block out, you got to think about this. However you're teaching it, find, hit, turn, hands up, like hands here. Like when we did it, we talked about hands up high, not like wrapping around. So we're not wrapping around, you get hands up here. So we can go get a rebound very easily from this point, and you're not getting fouls by wrapping guys. So that was our key for finding, hitting. And as long as our guy, when a shot went up, took a look to see where a guy was, if he was coming or not, we'd give him a 1. If he didn't look, if you followed the flight of the ball when the shot went up and just turned and looked and went to the ball, he got a 0. So very simple on defensive blockouts. But what we have to do is, okay, you watch the shot go up. All right, here we go. Let's watch Gio. All right, Gio. Yeah, he turned, he looked, he hit. All right, now let's go to Danny. What did Danny do? Danny, when the shot went up, he kind of went to the guy, but then he just ran in. He didn't hit him, and that guy came in, got an offensive rebound. So he gives Danny a 0. Gio blocked out, gets a 1. Danny gets a 0. You go rewind it again, go to the next player. Rewind it again, go to the next player. Try and catch them all at the same time. So now those 5 guys either have a 0 or a 1 next to this situation. The guy who shot the ball, his job was to go, the defender, to go shot contest. And we talk about ball side shot contest. So that means when the guy goes and shoots, you got to put a hand on the ball side, not just in the middle of the face, because everybody can shoot nowadays with a hand in the face, okay? You got to do ball side shot contest. So the kid, when he shoots, sees the hand come up and shifts a little bit to the left or to the right. And that affects his shot thing. So on that shot contest, did the guy do a ball side shot contest? So a 0 or a 1. So you'd have 4 markings you'd be doing on every defensive possession. The first one would be blockouts, 4 guys. And then when the shot went up, did the guy contest it or not? 0 or 1. So you'd have that situation. Ball pursuits are something that was, something like a loose ball. Like say if the ball get loose and your guy doesn't dive on it. And if he doesn't go after that ball for a ball pursuit, then he gets a 0. A long rebound, going out of bounds. Does your guy go and try and challenge that and go get it? Now, if he makes an attempt to go get it, then you give him a 1. Even if he doesn't get it, the other guy gets it. But he made an attempt. He gets a 1 and or a 0 on the ball pursuits, loose balls, all that kind of stuff. Shot contest, we talked about ball side shot contest. That's an important thing, ball side shot contest. And then on the other end, offensive rebounding attempts. That's the only thing we're charting on the offensive side. Offensive rebounding. So now, come down, we have the ball. One of our guys just takes a shot from the top of the key. Do our wings go baseline in? We teach offensive rebounding, not going to someone's back. I got this from Coach Moore, and we were like, when we were at Quinnipiac, we led the country in offensive rebounding. I think it was maybe 5 years. And when you think about Quinnipiac University leading the country in offensive rebounding, it's just an amazing stat. And we led the overall rebounding, rebounds per game, everything. So rebounding, with that program really worked, and some of the stuff we took. But offensive rebound, so we chart, baseline in. So you go, so the kid shot will go up. If you're on the wing, you go to the baseline first, and then you pop out. So you're blocking a guy out when you're coming. You're not just running right in, right to a guy's back and making yourself easy to block out. So that was what we trained from the wings. Baseline, same thing, baseline in. So now, did they go offensive rebounding? 0, 1. You have to rewind the clip 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, maybe 4 times. You'd see everybody gets a 0 or 1. Same thing now, I'll go back on the other end, charges. Here comes a kid in transition. Your guy's in a perfect position on the weak side to step over and take a charge. Did he do it? Did he not? Even if he didn't get it, did he make an attempt? If he made an attempt, give him that one. He made an attempt. You know, he might not have got it, might not be perfect, might have had a leg out, whatever, but your guy tried to do it. So give him that one. If he didn't, if you're just clueless and you just like have no, understanding what's going on, give him that 0. Deflections. You know, we were big on deflections at Holy Cross. That was something that we all, we had to get 40 or more per game, 40 deflections. And if you got 40 or more deflections per game, 90% of the time we got the win. So we knew that as a team. We talked about it all the time, getting deflections. And deflections were like having your hands up and just deflecting a pass to the wing. So like I'm playing the ball and the kid went to go make a pass and I just got a piece of it. It's a little piece. Now that pass is not perfect and the kid who caught it is not in shooting rhythm. So that would count as a deflection. And assistant coaches would chart the deflections. You can't really do that live action. So it's kind of, it's tough to see a deflection on. So the assistants would write these deflection numbers in at the end because you'd be taking them live during the game. And kids on the bench would be like, hey, coach, that's a deflection. That's a deflection. So those are things. On the wing, making sure like a blocking a shot, that would be considered deflection. So you got a block shot, you got a pass on the wing, a denial on the wing, and the kid just tips it a little bit. That's a deflection. So you figure it out. Your goal for the team is 40 or higher. You can change that if you're a high school team and you're not getting, your minutes down, like we're 16 minutes a game. So I had to change it down to 30 deflections per game. So that was our goal. Closeouts and rotations. That's something I added in, like what's important to you. So I thought closeouts and be in the right spot and rotation. Teaching guys. So like if you're watching a film and a kid's playing t-shirt defense on the weak side, well that would be a 0 for rotation because he was on the weak side playing t-shirt defense. 0. Closeout, he goes running past the guy and shuffles his feet and breaks him down. That would be a 0. So all that. So those are the categories that we charted as a group. Now you think about that. Has nothing to do with like scoring, shooting, anything to that effect. But all those things focus mostly on the defensive, other than the offensive rebound, the defensive end of the court. And when we did this at Holy Cross, like I said, they were losing year after year after year, but we decided to put this in. And in the first game, when I started charting this, it takes about probably an hour and a half to 2 hours to do. You got to do the entire game, stop, rewind, chart, stop, rewind, chart. You do that, probably takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. You put it all together, but you get a snapshot of who is really doing what and what is wrong. And I'll tell you, as a young coach, when I was getting into this profession, that was the best thing that I ever did, because I can't explain to you how many hours upon hours I spent in the office doing effort stats. But what it did is made me confident as a coach that I could go into practice the next day and I could look at the kid Gio and say, my man, Gio, like you are horrendous on closeouts. Like, what do you mean, coach? What are you talking about? I was great in the game. I did a good job. I said, no. Let's watch the film on your closeouts because you were like 3 for 17 on closeouts, whatever it was. And I could go to the next kid and say, hey, Danny, you did a phenomenal job on shot contest. Every time you're doing ball side, great job. And I just felt as an assistant, young, getting into this business, I felt so confident going into every practice because I watched that film I don't know how many hours upon hours, before. So when I went in there, and it was great because the kids respected you because they knew you knew what you were talking about because they're like, you're right, I'm really struggling on my, closeouts. And then you show them and you talk about it and you do it with them. So the first time we had to do that, it came back. And at the bottom, then you total them up, all right? And at the end, so Gio, let's say he was right now, he was 23 for 39 with his numbers, on the top line. That's 58%. We wouldn't accept anything below 70. So right away, Gio has to do 12 sprints. So whatever you want, 12 burpees, 12, make something up. I don't care. Well, however you want to do it. You can do a suicides. But we had it, when we were doing it, it was an up and back. So we had to do 12 up and backs. Up and back is 1, so he had to do that. So he had to do 12 up and backs. And that was what he had to do. And then at the end, if we don't get 70% as a group total, they'd have to run for that. So let's say the group total down the bottom for defensive blockouts was 58% after adding them all up. then we'd have to do another 12 team sprints. So you would have to do his individual, get his 12 done. Then we'd have to do a team for defensive blockouts. And we would talk about it and say, hey, listen, we were 58% for blockouts as a group. That's not good enough. You know it's 70. We owe 12 up and backs. Let's get this done. And the kids are like, man. And the first time, I'll never forget, we did in the field house at Holy Cross. We ended up doing, after all those numbers were totaled down the bottom and the percentage you had to get, we had 158 sprints up and back we had to do. It was unbelievable. The kids were like puking, dying. But I'll tell you what that did, and if you can just believe in this and trust in it, the next game we had, I heard kids in the bench yelling at guys saying, hey, block out. Hey, shocking test ball side. And we're coming out of the game, they were talking about, yo, man, like you didn't get on that loose ball. Like, we're going to run tomorrow. And, all of a sudden these numbers started to change and change and change until, we won 3 straight championships at Holy Cross. And I understand it's because, Coach Will is a phenomenal coach and all that, but I really do believe it was because because it was kind of like the same kids. We had a couple new kids here and there, but like they changed their focus, their mentality changed to what it's all about. And when you get kids to buy into those type of things, it's endless what you can do. So those are all the categories right there. You can look at, like I said, you can change these categories. Let's say you're an offensive team and you just want to put offensive stuff in there. But what you want your kids talking about, when they're on the bench, when they're in the huddles, when they're grouping together, what do you want them talking about? These are the things we wanted them talking about. And I'll tell you, like, it really changed us around. We ended up being the number 1 field goal team, percentage team in the country one year. It goes back, I don't know, 2001, I put it down there, 2001, 2002. Number 1 field goal percentage team. When you think about that, Holy Cross, number 1 in the country field goal percentage defense. That's amazing. It really is. So those are some things that I just wanted to throw that out to you. That is like our effort stats. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing and come back. All right, Coach Pally. So now, Coach Pally, if I put a board in front of me now, can you see the board? If I'm doing X's and O's, I don't know if he's still there, Coach Pally.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm watching. Yeah, I can see that. That looks good.
Do I need to make it bigger? Or is it?
No, I think you're good. If you hold it just right there, I can see pretty much the whole. Yep, I can see pretty much the whole board.
Because yeah, all right.
Good. I would use, if you're using half, I would use the top half. Use the top half of the court to show.
Top half.
Yep.
Okay,
you're great.
All right. So now listen, that was my effort stats spiel about stuff, but I'm going to get into some quick hits. Every one of you guys want to know, like, give me some plays, Coach. Like, what do you got? Like, give me some quick hitters. So these are some stuff. Like, I'm just going to make believe I'm in a huddle and I'm showing you guys, some X's and O's that we can just run through some quick hitters that will hopefully will help you guys, get some wins and get to it. So the first thing that we put in was the horn series, which everyone has, and how this goes is very simple. You set you guys up in a horn series, which is the 2 bigs or your 2 bigs in your team are up top right here, okay? And your guards are on the wings on the side, just like that, okay? So you set up like that in a horn series set, okay? They set side ball screens. Your point guard picks whatever side he wants to come off. First option is the pick and roll. So the kid comes off, the one comes off the shoulder of the 4. This 4-man rolls, okay? And then if you have a first, the drop down pass, simple high here. You can pass back for the high low look, which is if you have 2 bigs, that's a great look, on the seal duck in. All right. So that's a simple horn series. All right. Now, if the play doesn't happen, he goes here, he doesn't pass it back. What we have done is we continue on for a dribble handoff. So we continue on for a dribble handoff into a ball screen. So dribble handoff into a ball screen, and then they play a 2-man game on the weak side. And then these 2 guys roll and fill. So again, I'll show you from the start here. 1, 2, it's typical horns. Call the horns play. Here on the wing. Here they come. Goes off the side. Roll. Do you have that little drop pass? Don't gut it. You don't want to throw it back. Dribble handoff here. Now dribble up to a sprint in ball screen. The sprint in ball screen is something that we used to do a lot, and I thought were very effective because it's hard when you got a kid running in to set a screen and then he comes to a quick stop because you don't know when he's going to stop. So if you're the defender on him to that, as that dribble handoff's happening and this kid's running over, it's hard to set up for a hedge or what you're going to do on the screen. So I thought I like the the sprint in dribble ball screens. So that's that horn series. So now we have horns. If we wanted to go horns 2. All right, here we got the horn situation up top. The ball's in the corner here. This is horns 2. So now we're going to go to the 2 side and come off the screen. Boom, give it to here. Now these 2 guys on the dribble handoff with the 2-man, all right, can come over and set a double screen. All right, double screen, just like that. So now you got two guys here. One of them roll, your best big man roll, the other one pop, and then you got a 2-man game on the other side. You want to go horns 3, you go to the other side. Same exact thing. You get the 3-man over there, horns 3, you come off here, go get that dribble handoff. Now this is a situation where you're dribbling at a guy off the first screen, okay, on the horns 3, that you could go backdoor. So if teams overplay, a lot of teams try and overplay in the wings. I like to set them up so they're here. You come off that horn screen. You don't have that guy roll because we call it a horn. This is not horns. This is horns 3. So now in horns 3, now you're dribbling at this guy. This guy can come up, and if he wants to get a quick backdoor cut, that's wide open usually once a game or twice a game with a kid getting overplayed. So now the kid's playing on this. You here, you got the dribble handoff for horns 3. You got the double screen coming. All right. Best big guy rolls. The other guy pops. You got that action. So that's your horns series. You got the horns 2, you got the horns 3, and you got the traditional regular horns. I'll tell you, like a lot of teams just go to that now. There's millions of other things. When I was scouting in college for like, last 20 years, there's so many different things off the horn series you can do. Now we have the, one other one I'll show you that a lot of teams do, horns 4 or horns 5. Very simple. And you come off the screen. This side, you want to say we're calling it horns 4. So it's for the 4-man, which is on this side right here, horns 4. So he comes off the 5. This guy goes back door and sets the diagonal back screen. So now you make sure your point guard goes free throw line extended to make a proper angle pass. So he just came off that horn set here, comes over here. The guy goes back door, sets the diagonal back screen for a 2 and a 4. For a post up right here for your 4-man. That's a great set. And then when that happens, the 2 standing right here comes off a down screen for like America's action for the pop out for the 5. All right. So I'll show it to you real again, quick. Here we go. We'll go with the 4 to 5 here, 2 to 3. Now we're doing horns 4 for a 4-man. Boom, back door, back screen for the 4. 4 is posting up because you got a mismatch off the screen. Down screen for the 2 here. That's what you got. That guy drops. So you got post in, throw it in right there. Now you got the horns 5. You got the horns 5. So now you got the 5-man up here. Same thing. Come off the 4. Go opposite of the guy you're calling for. Horns 5. Back cut there. Set that diagonal back screen. All right. Now you make sure you get point guard gets free throw line extended. What happens is point guards try and make passes from way up here. It's not good. You want to go free throw line extended. So now they're here posting up, and always post up above the block. You don't want to go below the block because then when you turn baseline, you're throwing from behind the backboard. So always teach your bigs to post up above the block. That's an important piece, training thing you should teach. And they should be, trying to work with like thumbs down, so because when they hands straight out, it's easy to knock their arms down. When it thumbs down, the elbows are out and it's strong when they're posting up. So the post ups should always be above the block. Should teach your post players, thumbs down, work, and active feet, making sure you're trying to get a good position above the block, all right? Point guards, you're teaching free throw line extended and making the reads. So now we did horns 5, so there, and then all of a sudden the 4 sets a down screen for the 3 for the pin down for the 3. So that's the horns series. I think it's a great series to start with and put it in. Very simple for people to pick up. Everybody should have a horn series that probably already do in your sets. But I just want to show you a couple of those quick ones. I'm going to go to video and show a little bit. So hopefully I can share this screen. Coach Appelli might have to, if I'm, I gotta go to huddle here.
I'm here, Coach Doherty, if you need a.
All right, I'm just trying to see. Can you see this right here from? All right. Can you see that? Can you see the screen now, Coach Pally?
Yep, I see it now. Yep, and
All
then
right.
yep, you can Coach Doherty, if you want, you can max. It's up to you if you can maximize the screen too, so it's just a
Okay.
little bigger. Yeah, right there.
I got it.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
All right. So now, I'm going to teach you some little things. I just, like I said, it was awesome just doing this. I was doing this the other night till 2:30 in the morning. I was just putting plays together. I'm watching my team, and I'm like, what can I show guys? Well, some people like to see. So the first thing is, when I was an assistant at Assumption College when I first started out, there was a guy named Jack Rankins, and he talked about, he said, always try and get some stuff off of special situations. And I'm like, okay, like out of bounds play, side outs. He goes, yeah. He goes, but also like run a tip play. And I'm like, a tip play? That's the first time I didn't know about anything about a tip play. And he goes, yeah, to start the game, try and get an easy basket. Try and get 2 points. And I was like, all right. So we taught this tip play. And it starts out with, you got to have one guy straight on from the guy that's jumping ball. All right. So the guy right in front of him trying to establish that position. So you can see our guy, Jakai right there, light skinned kid. He's right in front of the guy getting ready to tap. The other key is this, is you got to start with when you're jumping center, have those guys have one hand up ready to go to bounce. Okay. And because what happens is if your hands are down by your side and you get your momentum to come up, you're at the same jumping ability as the other kid, because the other kid's hands are usually down. You watch it in film, their hands are down, then they bounce up. If your jumping hand is already up here and you bounce, you get that extra probably foot of clearance to beat that kid. And then we try and quick tap it, because the referees, they're just worried about throwing the ball up. They're not looking for a quick tap. So we try, and when the ball goes up in the air, we try and quick tap it with your same hand that your hand is up and tap it forward. So now the rule is the guys on the wings, on the side, you got one guy back on defensive responsibility. Their job is right when the ball goes up in the air, they're supposed to take off. They're supposed to just run to the 3-point line or layup, wherever they're going to go. They're supposed to run. And then the guy quick taps it forward. Hopefully our foreman secures it and makes a decision right or left to throw to whoever's open. So I'll just show you on this. It looks like we tapped it forward. Oh, hold on a second, coach. There we go. All right. So again, taps it forward. He lost it a little bit on the tap, but you can tell he quick tapped it, catches it, and still gets a guy who was wide open for a 3. Okay. And then we did a good job offensive rebounding in that. All right. So now here's a set right here we call power. So our first thing is run a tip play. There's multiple different tip plays out there you can run. I like the quick tip with the guy sprinting out for a 3. There's other ones you can use for back screens and all that kind of stuff and run a play right out of it. But have a tip play in. That's give you. I can't tell you. I probably, out of my 27 games that year, we probably started at least 20 of them up to nothing because of that. And it's usually a dunk or a wide open 3 or whatever. So 20 out of the 27, we start the game with a lead because of that simple tip play. Next one here, we're going to go right into power. So we got ball screen, box set, overload on one side. Now we're setting the screen here. This is, I think, against Beaver Country Day. This game is against Beaver. Here comes the box set. Tim's taking it on. Stagger on the weak side. See the stagger screen for our shooter. That's where the guys are. I've lost my screen. All I see is my screen. 1 second. Must be hitting the wrong button when I hit we. Let's see. Must be stop video. Share. Second here, guys. Sorry about technical difficulty. Now you should be able to see it. Okay. Sorry about that. I think it's when I'm hitting the pause button, it's making it go away. The Zoom technology here. Hold on. That's what it is. I'm hitting the pause button. Hold on. Let me make it to like a little bit smaller screen. That would be the best way to do this. Minimize. There we go. I'm going to minimize it just for a second so I can pause these things as we're going. So there we go. Sorry about that. Now this will be a little bit easier. So it might be a little bit smaller screen, but I just want to make sure we see what's going on so I can pause it. So now here comes the point guard off. The rules with the point guard coming off are very important. You tell them to at least take 2 dribbles past the point of the ball screen. So he should come off 2 dribbles past my point guard right there. So he's coming off 2 dribbles, making a read. He decides to take on his guy because he sees a little confusion in front of him. The stagger screen is happening in the power right there because here comes our shooter coming off. And Tim gets fouled driving to the basket on his own because he saw the mismatch. This is an out-of-bounds play, really good. I think it's Michigan State right now. So this one, we got this one from Michigan State. Like you all know, like we do a lot of copying in basketball and stealing and, you know, taking from others. But this one's a really good one. We have a 5-man and in the front. You know, we have the 4 kind of taking out. You can put your players where you want, but here's the concept behind it. One guy goes out to the first guy goes out to the wing, gets the ball. Second guy goes opposite. Point guard comes and gets it. Third guy sets a down screen for the inbounder. He comes out for a little curl. And then you saw the ending, but you know, the ending of that, I'll show you. After here, reverse, here comes, he's supposed to curl out of there, and the person that set the down screen would be coming off to the corner. And he would have been wide open as well. But Christian ended up taking the shot. All right, on this one right here, we're working on, which one that one was? Let's go right to the next one. All right, this is transition. So now we're coming in transition, and you always got to teach when you're pushing up. We have 3 guys in transition, 3-on-3 basically right now. So, you know, he throws the ball up to the wing. Our guy takes it baseline. You got to make sure, like in that Euro situation, our guy in the opposite gets deep corner to give the guy who's driving an outlet. And he does. He goes deep corner. You can see him there. That's an important thing that we try and teach. If a guy drives baseline, opposite guy has to get deep corner. So he gets to deep corner, and he's able to make that pass. He fumbles it, all right? He still makes a little handoff and still be able to turn the corner, make a spin, make a move, and make something happen. But that Euro move is important when he goes baseline and kind of going out of bounds for that guy to get there and help out. All right. Next one that we got here. This is, okay, this simple like flex set. And I think, you know, everybody, you know, Coach Hart talks about the motion and, you know, the continuity and, you know, the guys doing a great job of that. You know, I always like to have some stuff that has hit some people and some screens. So this is our flex series. It's called our head tap series. And then the head tap series, you can see, pass the ball from one spot to the other. Here comes the flex screen. We talk to the guy. You have to make sure you teach the flex points. And the guy coming from the corner right now has to set his man up one way or the other. And he did a pretty good job setting him up. You tell your guys not to move on the screens. Like I'd be killing Alex right now because he's shifting his body weight towards that. He's trying to do the right thing by set a screen, but that ref right in front of him could call that foul, and he's one of my better players, and I don't want him out of the game. It's the guy coming off the screen's job to get open. It's not the guy that is setting the screen. The guy sets a screen. He protects himself with his hands down, just like that. He gets his legs spread as wide as he can, his shoulders wide as he can, but he doesn't move. It is the guy coming off the screen's job to get open. All right, so that's what you got to make sure you train your players on that. And now here comes a down screen. Alex is weak, our guard that set the screen and moved a little bit. He's a little anxious and he's leaving too early. And Tim does a poor screen. Like, I'd be all over that kid who just passed the ball and is coming off down here. I'd be killing him right now about strength of screen. Tell me, what are you doing on this? We're trying to run a flex cut. You have the guy, you're setting him up, and you let this guy kind of just bowl through you like that. You're so much stronger than that. So now Tim would get taught about getting ready, getting early. We try and teach the other guard, Alex, there, saying, hey, listen, you got to slow down, wait for that screen to come. All right, now here comes the next cross screen. Again, on that, the guy doesn't set his man up enough on the weak side. He comes off, but his man went under the screen, so he was wide open. And Christian makes a play, and we get some offensive rebounding. I would be all over now on that. If you go back, we just want to go back, I'd be at the end of that. Watch on the weak side. When this shot goes up, now we're talking about effort stats. We're looking at effort stats. Look at the kid in the deep corner on the opposite side. You'd be definitely getting to 0, and I'd be showing in film the next day, like, what are you supposed to be doing right now? Shot went up. What is your job? And if he went right now, when that ball got bobbled, he might have had a chance to get that. So we'd be training him, hey, listen, you got a 0, you got to run because of that. Next game, you better go. So we got that. Setting right now, this is our swing offense. So here it's a very simple set, swing offense. There's a lot of stuff on the internet about swing. It's basically 4 out, 1 in. So it's a 4 out, 1 in situation. We got 4 guys out in the perimeter, 1 guy inside. I don't care if it's a guard, point guard, it doesn't matter. Have a guard inside. What I would like to see, though, on this is on the pass to the wing, that guy in the post should post up for a quick second and get a look, see if he can get an entry pass. He doesn't do that. He goes right into the offense. So now this is a UCLA cut to start the thing. So we got 4 out, 1 in, pass to the wing. Here comes the UCLA cut from the top. The guy who made the pass now is making a UCLA cut to the post. Now, the guy, Alex, didn't look into the guy in the post. I think he has him on his back. He throws it. He should throw that into that guy. He doesn't. That's fine. All right. But, I'd be talking to Alex about making a good entry pass to a guy on a mismatch, because maybe that was a point guard that they switched with. How they read that. We got to teach you guys how to read it. So now the job is to swing the ball. That's why it's called the swing offense. So you go from one side all the way to the other. And when that is happening on that swing, you can see the guy that came off the UCLA cut there, he's going to get ready to set the back screen, all right, on a little like a shuffle cut to the other side. So here it comes on the reversal. You can watch that. There. Now the ball's been swung. So now you are back to the original set. So now we're back. Same thing. 4 out, 1 in. What do we have to do? First of all, that guy should be posting up. He's not posting up. So, I don't know if it's in the beginning of the year, when it was, but, we have to work on some stuff with these guys. So now the next thing is, here we're back to the beginning, but it's on the opposite side. So now here comes the UCLA cut. Didn't set the screen. I'd be killing this kid right now. I'd be probably on the bench. I was probably screaming, set the screen. He's supposed to set his man up, set the screen. Here comes the reversal. And that guy takes it. Nice wraparound pass with a finish. Our guys cleaned it up. Offensive rebounding. So, that's a swing offense. So when we talk about flex, we had the flex in now. Now you get the swing offense. Those are 2 kind of continuity sets that I think, like if you put them in, and there's tons of stuff on the flex, on the internet, tons of stuff on swing. We've had a lot of luck with it. I just think it's good because it spreads teams out. On the swing, at least, it's 4 out. It's a UCLA cut, which is a little bit different, that teams, not used to defend that UCLA cut. All right, and then it's a side opposite, like when a guy's on the weak side help, when the ball gets swung, it's the opposite side screen there. I think that's a really tough screen to defend. All right, see what we got here now. Now this is against a zone. All right, a zone. So we run an X series, which is they're playing a 3-2 zone. So we have multiple things that we run off this, but one of the ones that a lot of teams run is just a simple high-low. So we have a 4 and a 5, one in the low post, one in the high post. So the high post guy is trying to be active in the middle. All right. Ball to the wing. Now look where our low post man is. He's like at the M and Hamden and the D. He's in that proper position. Alex's job is to probably be over one step to come out, make a triangle situation against the zone. And he's looking to the guy in the low post or the high post. Who's he got? But his first thing is thinking shot. And trust me, this kid always thought shot. So I'm not worried about him thinking shot. Yeah, you know, you can see he's already in a shot mode. But he should be looking to down low to that 4, because if you can throw it in against the zone to that behind the defense where Christian is right now in that 4 spot below down there, that really opens things up. He doesn't. He does a quick reversal. Now we make the X action. Very simple play against the zone, but very effective. You can see the high post guy leaving right now against the 3-2 zone because he's going to where the 4-man standing now on the opposite side. The guy on the wing should be getting open. So I'll be talking to Trey, who's over on that opposite wing, how to V-cut to get open on time. But there really was no one out there, so he could just stand there, which is fine. And then here comes the opposite 5-man there flashing to the high post. Trey doesn't make that look, swings it again. So on the second swing, we come out and set a ball screen. So that high post guy on the second swing, here he comes, set the ball screen. Now it's Tim's job to attack the screen. And he took a shot behind the screen because the guy went under. So that's our X series. I think that's a pretty good set against most 2-3 zones, 3-2 zones. You know, most teams have an X in. Make the look, reversal, make the looks, but it's the little nuanced things. Here comes the screen, action, roll, fill. And what I like about that, I'd be all over these guys. Watch when the shot goes up. Shot goes up. Now we're doing our effort stats. Look at the weak side. 1, 2. Good. I'd be all over number 15 on the court here on this side, Alex, because shot goes up, he doesn't go. So right now he get a 0 on his effort stats. I'd be talking to the opposite baseline guy about going more baseline in on that shot to get a better rebounding position. So doing your effort stats, are they going? And who's got back responsibility? So that's that one thing. All right, this is our double. So now here we got a double screen. You know, it's like almost the Rip Hamilton stuff. Single guy in the hole right here. Here comes underneath the basket. One of your better shooters under the basket. Single double. He's got an option to go off the double or a single on the weak side. In this game, we talked about this, that this team was overplaying on the wings. So we try to isolate a wing and trying to beat him on a backdoor. When guys are overplaying, you try and get him on a backdoor action. So here's what we got. We set him up in the hole. Here he comes. Off the double. Good. They're not setting, you know, the second guy's not setting a great screen. Coming off the stagger is not coming tight enough. He's got to come tighter, and come full speed. But now Tim does our point guard does a good job of spinning and going to the offside. Here you got over there, you got 6 guys on that side of the court. All right. Here he comes. He spins. He comes back to this side, which is now isolated for a great backdoor opportunity. Trey sets his man up, shows his hand, and goes backdoor. He probably could have had him. Doesn't throw it. We continue on into a ball screen action to a pick and pop. And again, we rewind and we'd say, okay, pick and pop. The guys go to the glass. Again, number 15 would be a 0 because he didn't go, but everybody else seemed to win. The guy who's on the top of the key should be saying, I got back. Good job right there by the guys in the wing going hard. We were a pretty good rebounding team that year. We went, 25-2. So, all right, side out of bounds play. So you have this. This is a great one. A lot of people. I think Bobby Hurley I got this from. This is a really good side out of bounds. We called it Michigan, and so you set up in a diamond action. Here's the diamond. So you get your 4 and a 5 on the elbows. Your 1 and 2. You can put players wherever you want at the bottom of the diamond, the top of the diamond, and a kind of a bigger wing taking the ball out of bounds. So now he's taking the ball out of bounds. Here he goes, off one. There's that shot for the corner. Tim was, coming off the corner wide open. That's option one off a good screen. You might get that with a catch, turn, and look. Option two is the guy in the bottom of the diamond setting a back screen for a lob right now. Back screen for a lob for the guy who just set the screen. Trey doesn't even look for it. The out-of-bounds guy didn't look for the lob. And I think the lob might have even been there. He wasn't there. So now here comes a dribble handoff from the inbounder, and then another back screen for a lob off the guy who gave the dribble handoff. Wide open here. Okay, so let's look at it full speed. One, lob, dribble handoff, lob. Made a good look inside. That's a great play, to go to, and now this one right here, we go into what is called wide. It's a great action here, wide. Dribble handoff, into a ball screen. He doesn't use it. He refuses it. He likes to refuse screens a lot, this kid, but he could do it. He averaged like 25 a game for me, so I let him do it. Anyways, this is wide. Spread the court out. Get two players low on the blocks, probably even lower. Talk about. Now here comes a dribble handoff. Third handoff back to the point guard. He makes something happen. Usually comes off a pick and roll action. So that is our wide action. That's another great set. And you see, I want to show you a couple more sets. I know I'm starting to get, time here, but hopefully you guys like some of this stuff. This is, I want to show you, you should be training, when you talk about your individual instruction. We talked about with this kid right here, Christian, working on his shot fake. Like really selling your shot fake. When you sell your shot fake, bringing the ball above your head, having your eyes on the rim, all right, and keep your knees bent. So really working our shot fake series. And I was so happy in this game. This is a championship game, actually. You can watch him do a great shot fake, lifts the guy, pull back, dribble, and go. And you can see effort stats. Number 11 goes baseline in. The other guy on the other side looks like he didn't go baseline in, but he went, so I'd give him one, and the other guy's already down there. The only one I wouldn't give one is probably the point guard who said, didn't go. All right. This is that Michigan State out-of-bounds play. You see to go to the corner. Again, pop one guy to the corner. Other guy goes opposite. Pin down screen. Curl. Pin down to the corner. Great play. I'm telling you, this works. Put this in. This is a money play for you. Money, money, money. Comes here. Tight. Good. All right. These are this is our overplay. Real quick. Coming down. Four guys out, one guy opposite the ball. Four guys out, one guy opposite the ball. Here he comes. Now this is called over. He's driving right at the opposite, the trailer coming down. Handoff. That is tough to defend, guys. I'm telling you, I never thought this, but like the way Christian, the kid who's catching the ball, should probably be a little bit higher up. But Trey does a good job dribbling at his man, and he's going full speed. Turns the corner, shooter in the corner. Very hard. Dribble drive series, very hard to defend. Here's another good one. Pistol. That's our 12 series. You just dribble right at the guy in the wing. Make sure you're dribbling right at the defender. Goes right at him. Handoff. Good shooter. You usually get 2 or 3 of those a game. Right at him. Handoff. Good shooter. Make sure your effort stats on the weak side and making something happen. Wide. Show you what happens here. Spreads it out. Again, 3 dribbles back to the point guard. 1, 2, 3. Here comes the ball screen, making something happen. Now, this happens in all games and all across the country. We get nothing out of it. What do? Get it to your best player and get out of the way. That's my, their job. Get it to the guy, and he just makes something happen. Plays kind of off. Alex tries to help him with a screen. He just drives down and makes it happen. So those are some quick hitters that I thought that were pretty good. That like you guys, like you put in. Let's see, I got one more set over here. Transition kick out. 3 guys underneath the basket for offensive rebounding, effort stats. I also want to show just like some effort things. We talk about effort stats. A shot just got made. We just made a shot. Watch our guys get into the press. They're on it. Hands active, hounding the guy. Active again, hands up, active. Trailing, not giving up over half court. One more trap in the corner. Again, active, trying to get that ball pursuit. Should have been on it. Guys trying to get all over the place. Now these guys are dead tired. And whatever shot they get up, I can guarantee you is not going to be a great one. They're coming off a simple screen, good hedge. Here. Next one, this is a kid that I recruited when he came here for me. And we talked about he came from a place that wanted him after every play, celebrating, pointing to the crowd, all that. And I tried to get that out of him every game and talk to him about getting into the next play, thinking next play mentality. And I was so happy in this game. This is the breaking point where he came down. Trey makes an unbelievable play. And instead of usually he'd go right to the crowd and go crazy. He's right in the play, getting ready for a press. He's in it. It wasn't, no hoopla. He's thinking next play mentality. And I was so proud of that kid. He's come so far because of that. And, guys, they were right into our press. See guys all over the place trying to make tip from behind. We get a foul, but, here, Alex got fouled in the corner on a shot. He's on the ground. Make sure you teach your players to go to that guy. Pick him up and let a teammate know, good job, good hustle. The entire team went over there. We'd be running if the guys didn't go over and do that. Again, so you got 2-3 zone. What happens is everyone has to do their job. Watch the first guy in the line. He sets his man and takes that guy out. Second guy has the pin down screen, and that's what gets the wide open 3. Line. Pin down here, wide open 3. Attacking the glass mentality against the zone. We do an X play. Shot goes up. Everyone's attacking the glass. All just attacking the glass. They want to eat. Again, next play mentality. You don't see any celebration after the thing. Guys, I tell them to celebrate on a timeout. They make the 3. Guys, effort stats. Watch them going from the wings. 3 guys going here. We all know. We'd be talking to Alex about he didn't go, but they're right into the press, looking to get traps, looking to be active, get a deflection, celebrating right there after another great play. All right. Well, anyways, guys, that's some of those quick hitters. I had a lot of other stuff, but I don't want to go too far over because I know, Coach Rapali has things to do. He probably's got a date going on soon, so I don't want to break into Coach Rapali's time or anyone else's time, but I appreciate going over.
Sorry, can I ask you a couple questions? I got a couple questions.
You can ask me anything you want, Michael.
All right, cool. A couple questions. One quick thing about effort stats. Does the team know? Like, say you guys play a game. Do you announce the effort stats the next day in practice to the team? Like, do the kids know? If someone on the team was 2 for 8 in blockouts.
Oh yeah, we used to put them in the locker room on the board, tape them on the board, put them up. But we would come out and the head coach would be like, hey, Sean, give me the effort stats, and that's the first thing we do as a group after that game. We'd sit there and he'd be like, all right, Coach Rapali, you were 2 for 14 in blockouts. Way to go, Mike. Way to knock yourself out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and then the other, everybody else would be just like, Oh man. And then he'd be like, all right, Mike, you got, 7 sprints, before practice or after practice, whatever, during stretching. And then we go right down the group, whatever it was. And then we'd stop practice before we even stretched. It was before stretch too. It was crazy. We would do all that running. They'd be like, hey, you got 22 sprints because of that. And then we'll start our practice and stretch. It's like, so kids had to get there early just to stretch before the effort starts,
Really? Okay. Then with the quick hitters, like, do you have like these quick hitters that you're showing, were they just fit for like your team for that year, or do you kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to adjust to your group. Like, when, one year when we were at Quinnipiac, we had those 2 bigs, Bruce, Ike, so we ran a lot of box series stuff with, like the 4 and the 5 at the high post and getting the America's action, the back screen, down screen action. So I think we did a lot of that. We did a lot of double back screen for the post, So I think you really got to go with what you got for personnel. I've had a lot of guards, so I've kind of moved to like dribble drive action. We talked about the pistol action, the over action. And I kind of like the dribble drive stuff because they all want to be guards now. It's amazing. Like there's no big men left in the country. Everybody wants to be a guard.
Yeah. And last thing, just so because you're being like a high school coach, like obviously for you, I'm sure it's a learning curve because you don't have quite as much time as you have like in college. But like all these sets that you have, how do you like layer them in? Like, do you spend like, the first week of practice like putting in all your stuff, or do you kind of, put one in, let it, yeah. You know what I mean?
You layer it in, but I always have 15 minutes a day put aside through dry sets. You know what I mean?
Right.
So 15 minutes on the clock, and I bring them down to like half the group on one side, the other half on the other side, and we run through our sets dry. And I might put in 2 sets as a group. Let's go work on those, break off, go put those in right now. So if I was working on a zipper set, zipper series, we put that in, and then they go work on it. Then they go over all our other stuff. And I just think it's really hard to scout because, like, all right, like we're playing Canterbury in the championship. Brian's got like 2 days to practice for me. Is he going to go over 22 sets? You know what I mean? Like, like what are you going to do? You can't go over 24, 25 sets. So I was big on that. Ralph Wold always thought it'd be hard to scout. And, like when we got 20 sets in 25 sets, like, it's hard to scout.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. All right. That's all the questions that we had on here and that I had. So I appreciate it, Coach Doherty. Thanks for the idea, number one, for letting In a Heartbeat be a part of this, and for taking the time to talk. It was really, really good, really beneficial.
Mike, you did a phenomenal job. I think people don't realize the amount of effort to stay on time for all these amount of hours and watch film and just do this. I think you're doing a great job with your foundation, and like I said, you become I've seen you grow since a college crazy man to like a good friend and a professional now. So like I'm just so happy to be part of it.
Definitely. I appreciate it, Coach.
And hopefully anyone who's left, try and donate because it's a great cause.
I appreciate it, Coach Doherty. Thank you very much, man. We'll have to get together soon when we're able to.
Of course, Michael. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care. See you.